Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to decode the silent language of the road. Because, let's be honest, those painted lines aren't just there for decoration. They're a critical set of instructions that, once you get them, will make you a way safer and way more confident driver. When you're driving, all those painted lines, the yellows, the whites, the solids, the broken ones, it can all feel like this really complex and confusing code. But what if I told you there's a simple key to understanding all of them? Seriously, one single idea that unlocks the rules for every line you'll ever see.
So let's dive right in with our secret key, the fences and gates analogy. It is incredibly simple, but trust me, it's powerful. Just think of any broken line on the road as an open gate, a place you can pass through as long as it's safe. And a solid line, well, that's a locked gate, or maybe even a wall. The point is you should not cross it. Just keep that one idea in your head, and you'll see how everything else just clicks into place.
Okay, first up, let's tackle yellow lines. Whenever you see yellow, I want you to remember it has one, and only one, critical job: to separate traffic that's moving in opposite directions. This is basically the great divide of the roadway. Applying our analogy here is, well, it's pretty straightforward. A broken yellow line running down the center of the road, that's your open gate. Passing is totally permitted as long as the way is clear. But a solid yellow line, that gate is locked. No passing allowed. And hey, what if you see both? A solid line and a broken one right next to each other? Super simple. You just obey the line that's on your side of the road.
And yeah, the official rule in the driver's handbook backs this up completely. A broken yellow line next to your lane means you're allowed to pass on the left, but, and this is a big but, only when it's safe and you're not going to mess with any oncoming traffic. That safety check, that's always on you.
Or as one driving instructor I know puts it, you can just think of it as a clear signal from the road itself. It's basically telling you, hey, yep, you are allowed to move around that slower car, but you better make sure it's safe first. So what happens when we see double solid yellow lines? I mean, if a single solid line is like a locked gate, putting two of them together represents something much, much stronger, like a complete wall. I want you to think of this as a legal wall. It creates a strict no-passing zone for traffic going in both directions. You should not drive on this, you should not drive over this, except for a few very specific situations. Sometimes you'll even see two sets of these double lines spaced apart, and that's like a full-on barrier you absolutely cannot cross. And here they are, those very limited exceptions. You can cross this wall to turn left into a driveway, to make a U-turn if it's safe and legal, or to get into a carpool lane at a designated opening. But for just regular passing, nope, absolutely not. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about white lines. If yellow lines separate traffic going in opposite directions, the job of white lines is to manage traffic that's all moving in the same direction. It's all about keeping that flow organized and predictable. And guess what? Our fences and gates rule works perfectly here too. Broken white lines, those are open gates. Feel free to change lanes when it's safe. You'll also sometimes see these really thick, wide broken lines. That's a heads up that your lane is about to end, so you need to merge. Solid white lines, on the other hand, are locked gates. They really discourage you from changing lanes, especially when you're getting close to an intersection or an off-ramp where weaving around is just dangerous. And, of course, you'll see a single solid white line marking the right edge of the road. And here we go again with the wall concept. When you see double solid white lines, it's not a suggestion. It's a wall, a barrier. You absolutely must not change lanes over them. Period. A classic example of this is the boundary for an HOV or carpool lane. You can't just jump in whenever you feel like it. You have to wait for that wall of double solid white lines to become a broken line. That broken section, that's your designated gate to get in or out. Now, let's look at some markings that give you specific commands. These usually pop up at really crucial decision points, like intersections, where the rules need to be absolutely crystal clear. You see this wide, solid white line painted all the way across your lane? That is called a limit line. And it's not a suggestion. It's a direct command from the road telling you exactly where you need to bring your vehicle to a complete stop for a stop sign or a red light. And if you see a line of these solid white triangles pointing at you, a lot of people call them shark's teeth, those are yield lines. They mark the exact spot where you have to yield to other traffic. It means you need to slow down and be totally ready to stop if you have to. This all leads to one really crucial point. Intersections are automatically no passing zones. Think about it. With cars, pedestrians, maybe cyclists all potentially crossing your path, your view is limited. Trying to pass someone here isn't just illegal, it's incredibly dangerous. Okay, we've covered a lot, but it really all comes back to our simple little code, right? Let's just quickly recap how this one idea makes you a smarter and much safer driver. The entire system of road markings, the whole shebang, it really just boils down to this one simple concept. Broken lines are open gates that you can pass through when it's safe. Solid lines, and especially double solid lines, are walls. You just don't cross them, except in a few very specific situations. Now that you have the key, the road isn't some big mystery anymore. You can actually read its language clearly. And this knowledge, it's not just for passing a test. It's about empowering you to make safer, more predictable decisions every single time you get behind the wheel. So drive safely.